questions.
Coach, it's nice to have a new player in the middle of a season, but it does maybe create some challenges of mixing guys together. First of all, have you any decisions, anything different from yesterday, and kind of what challenges does it bring to add someone to a mix?
Well, first of all, I think I owe it to the young man that walked in the doors, Emmanuel, to make sure that he's comfortable. I don't want to just say you land on campus and I just throw you into the fire and you really don't know yet what exactly we do. I got to get him comfortable with what we're doing offensively, get him comfortable with what we're doing defensively, and then sort of judging where he is and how he is. And the challenges are, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, a few days ago, he was in another country. Him coming here and getting adjusted to the food here, getting adjusted to the time here, time zones, getting adjusted to the basketball. You can tell right off the bat he's very physical, very active, very energetic, but he's coming from a place where they play physical. There will be times where he won't be able to get away with some of the stuff that, bumping the way that they bump over there. So that would be a challenge. And then just getting him comfortable would be the main thing.
With how energetic you've seen Okorafor been, how much of a role did that play in wanting to pursue him, given how inconsistent the overall energy and effort has been on this team this season?
I just think anytime you can add a player that can help, and when I say help, I'm not just saying for this season. I'm saying that from here until the end, whenever his career is over here, you jump on it. A quality player who is young and, walking in here, knowing what we need, knowing the type of players we need, knowing the character that we need here. He's perfect for what we do. There's been a significant change in the energy in our practices. He talks a lot, very vocal, very energetic, and he plays hard. He plays hard. He goes through drills hard. At times, it just about seems funny to the other players how hard and how he's yelling and rebounding and screaming and doing the things that he does. We need that kind of energy.
What kind of reset does his arrival allow you to have with this team? I mean, what kind of things do you envision doing differently?
Say that again?
No, I said, what kind of reset does his arrival provide for you, and how does it change your approach?
It doesn't really change my approach. For me, the first thing is implementing him into what we do and watching and evaluating how he adjusts to it, and then deciding then not based on just me, it's based on him as well. What is he comfortable doing? What plays does he know? What will be the 3 or 4 or 5 things that we do offensively, defensively, that he can adjust to quicker, that we'll just live in those things while he's in the game. So, I'm happy he's here. He's made us a better team already, and he hadn't played a game. So that says a lot about who he is and what he is.
We haven't had a chance to see him yet. In the clips I've seen, like on YouTube and stuff, it's real active on the glass, following shots, blocking shots. Just can you talk about his game, what he can do, what his strengths are, where he needs to get better?
I think you hit on the main strength, the ability to rebound the ball, his activeness around the basket. He plays above the rim. He's very vocal, which in today's game, the big man being able to talk and guide stuff on the court and ball screen action is vital. The surprising thing is he can shoot the ball. I wasn't expecting him to be able to shoot it that well. And when I say that well, I mean the technique of his shot. Another part of that is getting him comfortable where he's able to shoot that. And you see when you watch him that eventually he's going to figure that out. I just think if I was to say something, that the adjustment for him is going to be the speed of the game, the ability to, again, I'll say this, like, you can tell he's coming from guys in a system where they bump you all the time. So he has to get used to that. Referees may not let him get away with that much bumping. It's a different physicality to the way they play compared to what college basketball is. Ball handling is pretty good. He's not just a five-man. He can stretch your floor. And he's going to get stronger. His base is going to get stronger. His balance is going to get better. And, you know, like today I had him do all guard workouts. So he did everything that a guard would do. I want to see him move like that.
After having a week off, this week is a little bit of a challenge, a 9 o'clock game and then a noon game. What kind of challenges does that bring you? And then go back last week, kind of, did you like what you got out of the guys since the last game?
Yeah, we switched up how we did practice. We went a little shorter in practices, but then we came early in the mornings and did individuals. Got up a bunch of shots, a lot of ball handling, a lot of conditioning. That way I can implement Emmanuel into it a little better. You know, I hope it pays off. I want these guys comfortable shooting the ball. I want us to be able to play with more energy. And so by shortening the practice but then adding an individual to it, hopefully that gives us some of that. You know, the rest of it, we just got to go out and fight, man. Like, there's no secret sauce to it. You know, we're playing teams that we can beat, but they are still very good teams.
Kenny, you guys are entering a 4-game stretch where you play a handful of teams who are closer to the bottom of the ACC standings. Obviously, any game you go out, you want to try and win. But how critical or crucial is it to try and get a win during this stretch, or at least at the bare minimum, try and get progress back in the right direction?
We want to win. Real simple, we want to win. I think you're right, and you talk about the teams that we're playing coming up. But I think you also have to consider when I watch those teams play the upper echelon of this conference, what did I see? I saw there was tough games. So they're not slouches. They're not lack of talent there. They are good teams, and they can beat anybody. BC plays hard. They're very physical. They're well coached. They get the ball, and most of their points come from the lane. If we don't play well, they'll beat us. We're going into their home. They will be ready for us. We just got to make sure that we bring the physicality, that we bring energy, that we bring a togetherness. We fix or handle our situations where we've been deficient, which is ball pressure, handling ball pressure, and not turning the ball over. And then, you know, rebounding. We got to handle those two areas. And then getting stops, obviously.
Kenny, I think these stats are right, but in the last 2 games, I think you guys have had 12 assists, and L has 9 of them. Obviously, that's not good. When you look at that, is that because he handles the ball so much, or other guys just aren't good at setting people up, or guys are not making shots, and how can you change that?
I would hope it. I don't think it means the first one, where he's handling the most of it. When you look at it, you know, I don't know how many turnovers a Jalen would have, or Mike James would have. But what you end up seeing is that if you look at every player on this team, assist-to-turnover ratio, that's a problem. That's a problem. I need them to get better in that area. There are days when, in practice, I talk about I don't want Mike James to shoot the ball. Create offense as if you're a point guard. Learn how to make passes. Learn how, if you take the shot out the equation, what are you doing to help the team? That way, you may get more comfortable making a pass to somebody, or making sure you don't step out of bounds, or whatever the turnover is that we've been having. The same for Jalen. Telling Jalen constantly, if you spin, chances are something bad is going to happen. Don't spin. Pull up and shoot a shot. Pass the ball. Make a step when you pass the ball. Use your feet to make the pass as well. Those type of things.
Can Okorafor play guard?
cannot play guard.
How do you look at in the guard workouts, though?
He looks energetic. He moves very well. He will be one of our, best guys at running the floor. Quick. Plays really. Does everything he does it hard as he can. So that's a plus.
You said you haven't really decided how you're going to. What does he want to do?
I won't ask him that. I will demand that I get him comfortable because I'm sure he wants to step on the floor. I don't want him on the floor saying, where do I go? How do I get there? Oh my God, I forgot this play. I don't want him on the floor like that. I want him on the floor free. I want him on the floor confident. When he does step on the floor, I know the eyes will be watching. I want people to see him comfortable on the floor. He's going to make mistakes. There's not any player that doesn't make mistakes, but when a guy's coming to a new situation, you got to expect that there's going to be a grace period before he gets super confident.
What your expectation with Brandon this week?
Still waiting. We're just waiting to see. I would like to say that we're going to have him here soon, but it's doubtful. That's the best way I can answer. Number one, I think there are different ways that captains can be positive with a team. One is being vocal. Two, I want them to lead by example. They try really hard, but what happens is when adversity hits, where are they? I need them to be standing up in front saying, I made mistakes, I've done this, I've done that, but guys, I'm trying really hard, I'm still leading you, I'm still having a positive attitude. And so that's what we're working on with them. And to be honest with you, I tell them this is their team. I made them captains for a reason. They know what it's like to be a part of something when it's not quite right. Fix it. And guide these younger guys and new guys so that you can help them through any situation they may face. I'm open for that point guard. Did you at least try? He will try.
Mike, Coach talked about how he's done a few different things in practice this week, and one example he gave was like he went through a period of time, maybe the whole practice, I don't know, you can tell us, where he said to you, I don't want you to shoot. All I want you to do is pass the ball and get a feel for that. How is it difficult? Is it fun? What's that like for you, and do you feel like it was effective?
It's a challenge for sure, like to go out there and just only focus on one thing, just getting in the lane and passing the ball, trying to get other people open, so you can see other passes, like see passes that you'll need to make in a game to get other players shots and stuff. So it's different, just not looking for your shot and just getting in there, trying to like be like a facilitating guard and get your other teammates shots. But I think it'll help, like when we get into the next game and I start getting in the lane and kicking out to see others and making sure everybody gets their shots before looking for my own. And looking, because he says like when I get in the lane, sometimes I miss like open passes and stuff. So he wanted me to focus on that.
Was that difficult for you to do, or did you have to really concentrate to do it that way?
It wasn't difficult, but it's just something that you just got like really lock in on doing. It's when you get in there, just make sure I'm looking for somebody who's open, so I can get an open shot on that perimeter and stuff.
The last two games, you guys have only had 6 assists each, which is a very low total. Is that something that you guys are working on, or the Coach Payne emphasizes? And do you feel like you need to do a better job of setting teammates up for good shots?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been like preaching on us getting in the lane, especially me, like getting in the lane and just kicking out and see guys who are open or trying to get our bigs touches in the paint so we can get more assists. Just moving the ball and stuff.
Yeah, I had to agree. Just making sure our spacing is right. Sometimes when we drive, we're not in the right spots, and that's why we miss a guy. And just making sure that when we drive, like we slide all the way to the corner, and so that person can see you and things like that. We've been working on just so we can increase our assistant game.
For both of you guys, Kenny mentioned that with the addition of Okorafor, practices have been, just because of his energy and motor, practices have been a lot more lively and energetic. What is practicing with him like, and what have the environments and practices been like since he's gotten here?
I would say the practices have been better. Just having somebody new just brought extra energy and life to the practice. And he's a really good guy, and we're all trying to help him. And, that sense of us trying to help him, I feel like it's making our practices better. Coaching him up and just like, teaching him the plays and things like that is really helping us.
I think like he just brings a lot of energy to the practices and stuff, so that's good. And then he just wants to learn, and he's like he's very nice. Like he just wants to learn, just be there and help the team, and he's very energetic. So I think that helps the practices, and the practices have been better since he's been there.
JJ, you've played probably the best you played here in some recent games, and it seems to be more of an inside presence. Has that been a real effort on your part to address that part of the game?
Yeah, the coaches always tell me not to rely on shooting the ball, and when that's not falling, get in the lane and just try to use my athleticism over top, or just go crash the glass every time, see what happens. And I've been trying to focus on that.
Yeah, we haven't seen Emmanuel play, just seen video clips. You guys have practiced with him and stuff. Just can you describe his game? What can he potentially bring to the team?
I say he's very athletic, high motor, high energy, shot blocker, finishes things around the rim, he can shoot it, he can stretch it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, he's very energetic.
I have to agree. First thing that stood out to me was his long arms. Like I feel like he can guard really well, and he's very high motor, and I think he'll be a really good shot blocker.